Hello, it's another proppy doggy review with just me on my Todd, Alex. So welcome, it's a lovely morning and we had a delivery on Friday and it was Gregory Wilson's split focus. Now this has been very much anticipated and a lot of people have been asking. There comes in two different coins. You've got the Morgan silver dollar and the Eisenhower dollar. They're both the same price. So really it is pretty much down to personal preference. If you use Eisenhower dollars already, then obviously the Eisenhower would make more sense. You do get a non-gimmicked coin, you just get one, so obviously Eisenhower dollars are cheaper and easier to get hold of should you want to do a routine that involves more than just one standard ordinary coin. Morgan silver dollars, or replica Morgan silver dollars, bit harder to get hold of. We do stock them, but again a bit more expensive. And if you don't use Morgan dollars already, you don't have any, then I don't really see there's that much reason to choose the Morgan dollar. I think the gimmick is slightly more deceptive with the Morgan dollar, if I was honest with you. The issue is that obviously to make the coins you need 1.5 of an ordinary coin. So that means that, without going into too much detail, it's exactly what the coin is, but it is called split focus, so that should give you a clue. That means that obviously two halves are going to match perfectly, but you've got a third half that comes from a different coin. And the issue I've seen with the Eisenhower dollars, I haven't checked all of the ones we've got in stock, but I've checked a few, is that they've got some copper content, and especially if you know half dollars, you get a slight browning around the outside where some of the nickel has come off. Obviously that's not going to be the same on, so two halves will be perfectly matched, but there'll be the third half won't necessarily be. You might have more copper coming up, more copper showing through. It's not too much of an issue, to be honest, because you're not really holding it still. You're not having that coin examined. You can always have the standard Eisenhower coin examined first and then switch in for the gimmick. So not too much of a problem, and obviously the gimmick's always moving. Often you're only showing you're showing just the two halves that will match perfectly as one coin as well, so not really a big deal. Morgan dollar wise, a lot of people prefer the Morgan dollars than a look at the Morgan dollars. To me, they don't look like a normal coin. They look like a very sort of old, almost like a magic gimmick to me. That's just my preference. I'll show you what the difference. You might be able to see the difference on the camera. So that is the Morgan dollar. Like so, and then here we have the Eisenhower dollar. So there you go. You can see the. So they're quite gimmick wise. They're quite well made. Like I say, obviously you've got 1.5 coins here, so two bits match perfectly. Third bit not so good. Yeah, I think just the squareness of the Morgans make it look slightly more deceptive as well, but again it's all personal preference. I really wouldn't worry about it. It doesn't make too much difference, and the gimmick still works perfectly well with both. They're quite silent, it's quite easy to use. The teaching by Greg, he doesn't cover the sleights quite as slowly and as deliberately as I mean. I grew up with Michael Amar teaching his easy to master coin routines and things like that, and the super practice and the slow motion and the things that L&L used to do. That's kind of missing. So yeah, could be a little bit more on the old teaching of the sleights bit. He talks a lot about body movement, attentive and relaxed states and so on, so that's really useful. And he's a bit scatty as well, to be honest. Sometimes I just wanted to learn the routine, and he sort of leaps around with his ideas and his thoughts, so it's not 100% rehearsed. I would have liked maybe to retake a few bits, but that's fine. It is fine. It's 2 hours long, the tutorial, and yeah, if you like the routines, there are lots of different routines on there, and a lot of them are basically almost using the same few moves, which aren't hard. The coin does do most of the work for you. And really it's a lot more different premises rather than different routines and different sleights and so on. But yeah, so it's very for 2.5 hours, 2 hours 20 minutes or something for the tutorial. Nicely shot. It's all Greg talking to camera. Javier does join him for a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it's very expensive. It's very expensive. But if you like the routine, then it definitely worked for you. If you want to do a coin routine that looks like you're a master of sleight of hand, then yeah, go for it. Go for it. For me, personally, I think it's one of those coins. It's one of those routines where you're just being chased too much the whole time. That's why if you watch Greg's performances, they're quite quick and they're quite snappy, and I think sometimes that can be confusing. I'd try and do a slower routine with it. I think coin magic can be too fast because you are often being chased. If it's not in that hand, then it must be in this hand. So therefore, you've got to try and keep switching. You know what I mean. If you watch it, you'll see. I think he moves too fast. I think coin magic should be a bit slower than that. So it's not really for me. But if you do like what you see, the gimmicks are perfect for the routine. The teaching will get you there. And yeah, so there you go. That's Split Focus by Gregory Wilson.